and welcome to this week's video in the Resto Saga Classic Car Restoration YouTube channel. And this week we're looking back at the 1954 Morris Minor. As you will have seen in previous videos, this Morris Minor was restored by myself over approximately a 3-year period and is actually used as my wedding car. And you can follow the complete restoration in the earlier videos on this channel. Today it's up in the garage here because I need to do some work to the brakes and they need checked and adjusted. The handbrake is not just as good as it could be and there's a bit of a rubbing noise from the front brakes. So I'm going to get the car up on its jack stands and we'll have a look once the wheels are off. Okay, so time to get a wheel off. This is the tool that I use. It's actually for taking off the tires on bicycles, but I find it's good because it's plastic and it doesn't mark my nicely painted wheels. There we go. Set that in there, out of the way. Purists, look away now. I'm going to use the buzz gun just to take the wheels off. I know these are not impact sockets. Of course, I've picked the wrong size. I know these are not impact sockets, but they do the job just for loosening. So, just taking the camera here in my hand quickly, you'll notice that actually 3 of my wheels are not the correct Series 2 wheels in that they do not have an adjustment window here, which should line up with this little adjustment window so you can adjust the brakes without taking the wheels off. But I always like to take the drums off and do an inspection. That's got one of the little inspection windows. So something interesting about my car, obviously has later wheels, but there you go. I'm going to take these off, take the drums off and have a quick look around before we get the adjustment done and go from there. So this is the rear driver's side, or right hand side if you're from America. Here you can see the fact that the shoes are nice and clean, there's no oil contamination. They're maybe not meeting the shoe directly flat, but it's not too bad. This car hasn't done a lot of miles, so these pads are barely bedded in. So what I'm going to do now to inspect this, you do not use compressed air to blow these out because brake dust can be a bit harmful if you breathe it in. So I'm going to use some brake cleaner, clean it all down, put the drum back on. Having inspected the drum, it's a nice clean braking surface, which is great. And clean the drum as well, obviously. And then adjust them up, see what way we can get them to work. Okay, so I have the drum refitted here, and at present it can be spun quite easily actually. That's just with my hand on. Obviously if I had the wheel on, the moment would be greater, so it'd be easier to turn. In here is a little adjusting screw, and what I am doing is tightening it 1 notch and it's become locked. So that's too tight according to the manual and I agree, so I'm just going to knock it off. 1 notch again, and I think that's good adjustment. So what I'll do is I'll go around the other side and repeat this action. Then I'm going to test the handbrake, as these are the rear brakes, and check that it is working a lot better than it was. Something I will just mention at this point is that the rear brakes on the Minor are single leading shoe, as in they only have 1 cylinder, whereas the front brakes up there are twin leading shoes, so they have a cylinder for each shoe. So both shoes require adjustments, so it's a bit more of a fiddle, but I'll move up to the front in a wee second and I'll show you how to do that. So just doing the passenger side or left hand side rear brake here, and once that's done that will give me a better idea of how the handbrake is working. Again, drum was nice and clean, no oil or brake fluid contamination around here, so quite happy with that. So I'll pop the drum back on, same procedure as the other side, and we'll go from there. And here we are looking at the front shoes, the front brakes, sorry. Like I said, twin leading shoe, so cylinder here and a cylinder here with a respective adjuster here. and here, so it's always important to line up the little inspection holes whenever you're doing both. So this cylinder acts to push up this shoe against the inside of the drum, and this cylinder acts to push that one down. And the tricky thing is trying to get them both adjusted so that they're both applying friction, but not too much and not too little. So it can take a bit of trial and error. And something I should point out is that once you think you have them set, it's always important to go back inside the car, press the brake pedal to make sure that the shoe sits square against the drum, and then check your alignment again. So it's a bit of a prolonged process, but I think it's worth doing. So this is the last one to do. I'm just going to pop this shoe back on, and then because the car's up before axle stands, I'm going to run an inspection around all the various places that rust might be hiding. So this is what I'm going to be using. This is Hammerite underbody seal with added wax oil. This is really nice because it's brush on. So I have a brush, and I'm just going to run around and top up a few areas that I think need a bit of under seal on them. I'll wire brush them first, and then a bit added protection against rust. Like I said, this car doesn't get used a whole lot, and I generally try and avoid taking it out in the wet or the salty weather, so I'm not too concerned about rust, but it's always best to keep it at bay because I don't want to have to do full restoration again. So let's get that done. Right, I'm going to put these wheels back on, and obviously the two on the other side, but I've no room for the camera over there, so I'll put these two on the other side, get it down off the axle stands, then take it out for a test drive, and I'll let you know the performance after that. So I will hasten to point out that I did not use the buzz gun to put these wheel nuts on, because I don't think it does them up tight enough. I found that out on the Land Rover one day when I used them, so I will tighten them up by hand, and then I'll lower the car onto its wheels again, and then do the final tighten, just before I get a lot of critical comments about my technique. So I'll finish off the other corners and then lower the car down. And so there you have it. Just back from a couple of miles worth of a test route. The foot brake is a lot more positive, pulls up smartly, and it pulls up in a straight line, very importantly. There's no squeaking or grinding noises, which is great. And the handbrake is very positive, and it's fully locked on within four clicks, which is what I like in any car. So very pleased with the result of this. Wasn't particularly complicated, didn't take a very long time, and hopefully this video has been of some use to you if you were unsure as to how to carry out this process on your own Morris Minor, and really on any drum brake car, because the procedure is quite similar through both my MG and my Land Rover. So thanks very much for watching this video. Hope you found it useful. Please hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with everything we do on the Morris Minor and the Land Rover restoration, the toy Land Rover build, and also the MG ongoing maintenance and rolling restoration of that as well. So lots happening in the channel. Hit the subscribe button, keep in touch, reply to all my comments, hit the like button as well, and I'll catch you again next week. See you then.